Speaking of freeing, they just put up a 1/4 figure of Gon from Hunter x Hunter, and that was like 66,000 yen. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I know the shonen fans, because like Hunter x Hunter is like definitely one of the top picks for shonen people, and they'll probably buy it. They're gonna be making a lot of money on that.
It's true. It's very true, because that's the best Gon scale figure there is, isn't it? And there's
it looks really good. Yeah. Because I think for most shonen fans, you either gotta go with like the prize figures, or you gotta go for resin statues, because those are where the shonen stuff is at, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah. You probably can't see it, but those look at huge. The box, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, because I posted a picture of it, but I have a huge Ollie box here. It's like, it's bigger than my body.
Love it. Yes. Buying decisions, their purchasing habits.
That's terrible, man. I always feel sad when someone in the comment sections be like, "Hey man, I got into figure collecting because of you. Thanks." And I'm like, "No, I feel so bad for your financial
in the money
decisions."
pit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Titling a lot of my figures, very specifically. Like I'd put 1/7 scale figure in the title, and I would put the series and the character name. I slowly stopped doing that because I realized, like, in the search engine, people would probably find that video if they're specifically searching for that specific video. Yeah. Now I tried to.
What is it you try to do to keep your 86,000 subscribers happy? How did you get them in the first place? Apart from having the best production value of any YouTuber anywhere, absolutely chill and cool vibe and flow, great photography work, great edits, great transition. Man, I'm fanboying all over. No, my buddy Kenken, what a man. Love the lad. Round 2, here we go. Life in Japan with a Miyazaki Man podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Miyazaki Man podcast. This is actually part 2 with Kenken, the first one. 2 Vietnamese weebs absolutely loving life. There was so much awesome in it that we encountered technical difficulties. So here we are again, round 2. How are you doing, my man?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's getting a bit chilly over here, to be honest, in Japan, but aircon on.
Oh, yeah, nice and so cushy. Cold where I'm at right now. Oh my.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like. Do you guys use degree Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius, yeah. So fortunately, it's all in Celsius here as well, as far as I'm aware. But Fahrenheit is very strange.
Over here, it's been around. Yeah, it's no Celsius. It's been around -25 over here for the past couple of days now. Yeah, it's cold.
Oh my goodness. And only a hoodie. I would have expected blankets and a beanie hat and.
Well, on my bed I have like it's just filled with like blankets and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. Keep warm, keep cushy for sure. But I guess something that warms the heart and warms the soul is all the anime goodies and collections and things that's coming in. And I just saw the latest Arknights video. My goodness, Arknights figures are beautiful and
yeah, they're so good right now.
Yeah.
Some people already have their Surtur figures. I don't have mine yet, so I'm hoping.
I don't have mine either. Yeah. And I'm in Japan. What's going on?
Well, since it's by Mythos, I'm going to assume they got it from
China.
Like China stores.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. And actually, a little admission: when Surtur just came out in Arknights, I took a bit of a hiatus, a bit of a break, because I thought, my goodness, my team needs some kind of capping, some kind of scaling here to keep up with the latest content. It was a busy time. What did I miss out? I think I missed about 2 or 3 months after Surtur. Anything exciting? Anything like must-haves?
Not that I can think of. I don't know. It's been a long time. Like when Surtur came out, I didn't even get her either because I took a break from the game at that point.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, everyone had her, and I was like, oh, she's actually a stellar unit. So I was like, I'll get her eventually. That's why in one of my previous videos, I was like, if you have Surtur, add me so I can use her. I have her now, so
good stuff.
It's all good.
Excellent. And in terms of scale figures, obviously you collect the Arknight scale stuff, but you also collect other merchandise like acrylic stands or miscellaneous merch or war scrolls or books or artwork.
Yeah, occasionally. It's not a lot. Like I don't shop on Ami a lot, but whenever I do, it's usually just for figures. But if I somehow search up, I don't know, like let's say Eurocamp. Like the other day, I searched it up and I saw so much clothing. I was like, all right, I ordered like 2 beanies, a scarf, and I think another hoodie. But yeah,
Has to be done, yeah, to satisfy the itch as well. Like one of these little things. I mean, I promised myself I really shouldn't buy more of these things because I don't think they actually work. So these things are like noodle stoppers, right? The Lapland.
Oh
noodle
yeah, the Lapland. Yeah, I got a comment in my previous video asking me if I ordered that. I was like, nah, I didn't. I got the calcit one, but I didn't
Yes,
get
calcit.
Yeah,
I got her as well. Like, I'm not convinced that these actually work, or maybe it takes a certain type of ramen noodle because some of the other ones I've had actually just fall into the pot.
fall into the pot. Okay, yeah, I've only tested it once. In
Yeah.
one of my previous unboxings, I unboxed an FGO one, and then I had like a really small cup ramen, and then the figure fit perfectly on it. It didn't fall in or anything. That's what I was worried about too. But
Yeah,
I guess it
exactly.
depends on the type, the ramen cup that you have, or
It's true, and the pose as well. But the good thing
Yeah.
I've actually discovered about these kind of noodle stoppers, right, is because they're designed to sit down. You can put them on the end of shelves and the
Any
end
shelves.
of
Yeah,
anything.
I love sitting figures. They're just amazing. They're brilliant.
Yeah, so much like potential and things that you can do with them as well. And in terms of Arknight merch, I know you have some War Scrolls as well. Do you have any Arknights War Scrolls?
No, I actually do not yet. I
Oh.
do not have a single. I have a bag, which is weird because I remember when I think it was AX 2018 or was it 2019? I think it was 2019. I was
Yeah.
shopping around. And I don't remember the store. Maybe it was the Yostar booth or whatever. But I got an Arknights bag, and that's how I first got introduced to the game. I was like, all right, this
Oh.
bag looks pretty sick because I had Amiya and on it, and like,
Shit.
okay, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm interested in this game, and then I looked it up. It wasn't out yet, and then 2020 January, that's when it came out, and then
Sure.
started playing it from there. Yeah.
Makes sense. In that case, I'm going to showcase two absolute rare treasures because I told myself I don't need to buy any more War Scrolls, but then obviously, you never keep to what you say. And
Nope,
you know that
of
some
course
things,
not.
if you don't buy them now, they're just not going to appear again. And I've never seen these anywhere else. Now, this is a metal piped War Scroll, and I'm told this is limited from an event. So this is the Chen Cafe Dining little cutesy Amiya, little carrier there as well. So I'm liking this one, enjoying this one. I think it gives a good ambiance. So
Yeah.
eventually in the Cambridge Afternoon Tea Cafe, one of the ventures I hope to start in Japan, maybe I need to collect all kind of cafe related War Scrolls and hang them up.
Just hang them up. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
So that's one of them. And then the second one, put that to the side for now. The second one is actually massive, and I can't even remember what the design is, but this arrived yesterday, and this is really long. I'm thinking this is like B1, or at least, or even, no, it's not life size, it's probably B1 size. And I'm pretty sure that this is a Arknights War Scroll as well, but I can't actually remember because I ordered a few. There was a City Hunt, do you know the series City Hunter?
Yeah.
Ryu Cyber. Yeah, so I think merch for that is really hard to find. So I ordered a War Scroll and a fine print. Now I'm not really into fine prints because I think they're just a kind of photo, but sometimes for old stuff I don't think you'll ever find it again, and maybe it's like a display piece. So I've been really into hunting treasures for better. Oh, this is actually in a bag. That's nice.
Oh,
This is actually a wrapped back material bag. So with another bag inside.
that is huge.
This is humongous. I can't even remember this is wood. These poles are actually wood. So this, no wonder this was so pricey. I think this was like 9,000 yen
Oh,
for one War Scroll. So I'm hoping it's a good one. How much can you see? So Hoshiguma.
no. Yeah, Hoshiguma Dusk.
Who's this? Who's this on the right hand side? I don't think I played this far.
Which one? In the back?
Yeah.
I honestly. I have no idea. I play. Lost my tongue. I know the guy on the left. I don't remember his name either. I don't pay attention to male characters' names too often.
I know.
unfortunately.
For me, it must have all been about Hoshiguma here because
Hoshiguma was like instantly. I was like, yeah, she makes the scroll right there. I mean, Dusk is a nice added addition, but
absolutely. And this is proper premium. I think this might be a China event exclusive because I've never seen this available anywhere else. And speaking of Hoshiguma, right, I was tempted to keep her in the box and keep her in storage for a while, but then I saw your video and I was like, no, she's got to come out. I need an Arknights display. So I've got Hoshi here, ready to unbox very, very soon. And she looks absolutely amazing to me. But I know that you've got quite a lot of Arknights figures. Which ones are your top 3 of the Arknights figures that you own and have seen as well? Which would you say are your top 3 Arknights figures?
top. Sorry, I have like all of them right there.
I know, yeah.
Let's see. And then okay, top 3.
It's a hard one. They're beautiful, aren't they? They're beautiful.
All right. I'd probably say Texas, Exia, and then Hoshiguma is my top 3. Yeah, and 2 of them are made by Good Smile Art Shanghai, but like they did such a good job, I can't like complain. This was
They did. Those are the first 2 I think everyone needs to own. Texas and Exia, right? Oh my goodness.
Fantastic figures, absolutely.
Yeah. Craftsmanship, the pose, just the kind of feeling, the sentimental value behind them. But one of them, but that I don't know if you have her, but you have Blaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have Blaze.
Yeah, she's in the back there too. Everything's all blurry, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just on the recording side of it. But I really like the Blaze figure as well, and she's quite expensive. She's done quite well in the aftermarket as well.
Yeah.
And obviously the Warbreaker, she makes a lot of things trivial. Her and Silver Ash.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that one as well. Silver Ash, Silver Daddy.
Oh yeah, it comes out in, should be coming out next month if he doesn't get delayed. It's the same
Fingers
with
crossed.
Ifrit. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Speaking of Silver Ash, there's another tower defense game called Path to Nowhere. Have you tried that one?
No, I've seen someone. One of my friends plays it, but I haven't played it myself.
So I'm going to tempt you here because I think Path to Nowhere, the story is a lot more coherent and fun and really kind of engaging. So it's basically Arknights in a kind of prison, gangster, syndicate environment. And the story and the voice acting and the visuals are absolutely amazing. Like, I thought Arknights was amazing, but actually certain areas in Path to Nowhere is even better. And it's really free to play friendly because they give you so many resources. So you could play casually as well. And might be another one too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I try to stay away from getting into too many gacha games. But if a gacha game has voice acting, it's always a plus for me. There's so many gacha games I feel like that should have voice, like Arknights, for example. I feel like like events, you can live without voice acting, but like the main story, I feel like should be voice acted because Nikkei, the mobile game that I recently got into, had the main story has voice acting. And I was blown away by that. I was like, if only FGO had voice acting. They make so much money. I'm surprised they don't incorporate voice acting for the main story.
Exactly. Yeah. Think of the payoff there because you've got so many memorable characters as well, so many waifus and husbandos in FGO as well, right? They are completely missing a trick. Maybe if part 2 comes out or whatnot, they really need to get into it.
Because when I'm playing those games, it's kind of like I'm playing a visual novel, and I'm like, it's just missing the voice acting, man. The music's so good and the story's good, but like it's just missing that one crucial element for me. Yeah.
And that's what I think, if you were to start Path to Nowhere, you would be hooked instantly because not only was the voice acting, the lines that you get are actually hilarious. I think it's the studio's first game. You've got this kind of, I don't want to spoil anything, but you've got this kind of chibi girl who's really bratty and really obnoxious and really squeaky voice, and she's trying to kill you, the main character, as often as she can, finding ways to just absolutely take you out. And I'm not going to spoil too much, but she can't because you've got this, like in FGO and in Fate, you've got a special connection, which means that you can kind of block her or veto her or stop her from doing stuff or make her do stuff. So obviously she can't kill you, but she's trying. So it's really fun. Going back to kind of the Fate series then, so I touched shortly on some of the Fates figures. I've actually just unboxed them yesterday, so Miyamoto Musashi, a bit blurry here. We've got the Medea. You told me that she's younger Rider, right? Younger Medusa.
Oh, no, not Medusa, but like Medea is. Have you watched Fate Stay Night?
Yes.
Yeah. You know the caster in that one, right? Like the Medea with the hooded cloak.
Oh, her.
Yeah, that's like her younger, uncorrupted version before she turned into like the evil witch or whatever.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Then I got it wrong. I thought she was younger Rider because of the purple hair, but no, she's younger that version, the caster.
Yeah.
Okay. And where does Fate Stay Night rank on your kind of Fate popularity? Which are the 3 top series? Because I think I've watched Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, Zero, and parts of the one that Jean Dark is on.
Oh, yeah, I think Stay Night's probably my favorite.
Is it because it's the original one? The storyline?
Yeah, it's the one that just got me into it. Yeah, that's the first one,
Yeah, I hear you. And like, I love the opening. Every now and again, I listen to, is it like Disillusion or Illusion or something like
Disillusion,
that? Yeah, I really enjoy that one. But apparently in the fandom, they think that might be one of like the mid-tier ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the music is great, but you always have the larger vocal community voicing their favorites. Yeah,
it's true. And after the kind of Fate Stay Night one, which one is the one that you would go to? Which one has the best cast, the best characters, the best music or story?
Oh, that's a tough one. I probably still have to go with Stay Night. It's still
the best.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Zero has some pretty good because like the composer was Yuki Kujira. So
Oh, I love Yuki Kujira. Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough choice.
I listened to that stuff to hype me up. Like, do you know a series called Dot Hack Sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, she done some of the music.
OG,
for that one.
yeah, OG anime. I remember watching that on TV here as a kid. It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that music and it blew my mind because it's like nothing you ever hear of in anime, right? It's really kind of impactful and kind of orchestra dramatic, and
Yeah.
they do well live as well. Like I'm really impressed by that
Yeah.
cast of singers.
Her and Hiroyuki Sawano are like two composers that like you instantly, when you hear the music, you instantly know it was done by them, just because their styles are just so distinctive and
Absolutely.
really good.
Very, very distinctive. And actually, the RPGs are making a bit of a comeback. I think they're trying to revive the series a little bit, but didn't a lot of the Hack series only stay in Japan? I think that was why it was
Yeah.
not accessible, really, isn't it?
I mean, I'm surprised it aired over here. Like one of them, I don't remember which Takahiko was, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of going back to the kind of Fate series and Fate Grand Order, so 5 heroic spirits. If you had to choose some, if you were like a player in the game, if it was an isekai or something, and you had 5 spirits on your side, I don't know, would you just absolutely go for OP like Gilgamesh and all this kind of things, or would you love your little harem, or would what would you pick for kind of living in the world of the Fate series? Would you go for the win? Would you go for a happy life and when you're gone, you're gone?
Yeah, I don't think I'd pick Gilgamesh. I think he's a little too obnoxious for me.
I
I probably wouldn't respect me as a master or anything. Which understandable. I completely agree with him. But yeah, I'd probably pick Lancer Ku, the blue one. He'd probably be the only male because I think he's a bro. So I really like him. Then the rest would probably be like, well, obviously Artura Saber.
Yeah, natural waifu.
Yeah, I pick Ryder. Who else is there?
Which rider?
Oh, from Stay Night.
Okay,
Medusa,
yeah.
Medusa. Yeah, I pick her. What else is there? There's I picked Miyamoto Musashi. And the last one. Oh my god, that's a tough choice. There's so many options to choose from.
There are so many, and what I'm gathering so far is just sending your lad to war and you're hanging out with your babes.
Yeah, or I'm hanging out with him. Either way, because they're all really strong. So
Yeah.
I think the last one will probably be BB. Yeah.
Is BB? Is that like the spider crab girl, the big?
Oh
Spider
no,
thing?
that's a Passion Lip. It's another Sakura. Yeah, I'm talking about the other one. Yeah.
Okay, fair dues. Yeah, no, good choice. Actually, like on some of the figures I regret buying, I haven't actually made that video yet, but I already know some of them. You remember that Ishtar where she's sitting on that little chair with that massive, like, her chariot thing behind her?
Yeah.
So she never stays on the seat, so I'm literally propping her up with her sword in the ground, because that chariot thing is massive, so I don't know where to display it. And she won't stay in that little stool thing, she keeps falling off. So I'm thinking, Ishtar's design is like beautiful. Obviously she's a bit cheeky, a bit naughty. What's the other one? It's Ereshkigal, right?
Ereshkigal, yeah.
That one, I haven't actually got a figure of her, but I was very close to buying her a few times. But I heard the quality control on her figure was a bit miffy, so...
I have no idea. I haven't actually ordered any of their figures myself. I was planning to buy Ishtar from Aniplex, but I never went through with it. And then one of the Ereshkigal figures, I can't remember the brand who it was, but I saw a funny photo where the shipping price for it, I think it was someone from South Africa or something. They were ordering a figure, and the shipping price was literally like 3 times the price of the figure. It was terrible. I was like, I can't believe I've seen that. Oh my! The figure was like 15. I can't remember how much it was, but the shipping price was like at least
Extortionate.
Yeah, extortionate. 35,000 yen maybe, or somewhere around there. I can't remember.
That is painful. That is outrageously painful. I don't know how you'd do that. You'd pay a price for the figure, but then when you're shipping price, it's tripling it then. Tripling the price.
I remember for my Okita altar from Good Smile, the box was so huge, but the figure only costed like 20,000 yen, and then the shipping for it was 27,000. I was like, that's the first time I've ever had to pay where shipping was more than the item I paid for.
But she's cool. She's really cool though. Badass kind of pose.
She's cool. Yeah, super cool. I'm glad I got that figure, but oh man, I never want to pay that shipping again.
In that case, I don't know how you would get something like this. Like I previously showed you, right? So Black Friday. This is probably the deal of the year for me. League of Legends Kai'Sa. Even this thing, right, which is the alternate head. You can choose whether she's got her kind of little alien predator kind of head in, and it's put it on a nice display. But this thing is like nearly 15 kilos, and if that was to like be sent over to your place, this crikey.
Oh my god, I could just feel the weight from you picking that up. Just.
But the thing is, right, this. I was absolutely amazed. Like I promised my missus I wouldn't spend big on anything this year, but Black Friday, 130,000 yen. It's back to 130, 140,000 yen. This was listed for 52 odd thousand yen on Amazon.co.jp direct, and I was like, that's a little suspicious, right? It's less than 50%. But when it came in the box, and then I started unboxing this thing, I was like, this is legit. This is authentic, and they've got the kind of spider scabs, and all this kind of stuff on the bottom. And obviously she's very kind of shiny, very heavy. But the good thing about this, and I haven't tested it out yet, you can plug a USB into this, and these gauntlets light up.
Oh, that is crazy.
So this is going to be a beautiful display piece. And I'm just thinking, right, I didn't play Kai'Sa in League of Legends. I stopped in and around that time as well. But just as an aesthetic, I think that is outstanding, but very, very heavy. And speaking of the kind of Vietnamese vibe, did you end up getting this one? A little natural samurai girl.
Oh no.
So I was very impressed with this. This has obviously got the kind of Vietnamese straw hat, and it's got the kind of themes and the kind of samurai thing. And I think she would go really, really well with like the original Miyamoto Musashi, the one with the swords and the scabbards and all this kind of thing. But I'm actually quite impressed by these companies, because companies like Wing, the cost is still fairly cheap compared to stuff like Freeing and Alter. You're starting at 30,000 yen nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Freeing, they just put up a 1/4 figure of Gon from Hunter x Hunter, and that was like 66,000 yen. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I know the shonen fans, because like Hunter x Hunter is like definitely one of the top picks for shonen people, and they'll probably buy it. They're going to be making a lot of money on that.
It's true. It's very true, because that's the best Gon scale figure there is, isn't it? And there's
it looks really good. Yeah. Because I think for most shonen fans, you either got to go with like the prize figures, or you got to go for resin statues, because those are where the shonen stuff is at, in my opinion.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Speaking of which, though, I did see a Gon figure on Suruga Ya. I think it's a 1/4 scale statue. I can't remember who it's by, but it's actually Japan licensed product, and it was about 70,000 yen. But there's a B ranked one for 40,000 yen, and it's very similar to the Freeing one. But I think it looks better. It looks better than the Freeing one. It's a statue, though. I don't know whether it started off as a garage kit, but Hunter x Hunter is one of the series I'm going to rewatch, just because this new arc, I haven't read the manga, but I've been spoiled a little bit by this guy called New World Reviews. Are you aware of that guy?
Oh, no. Yeah. I've only seen... I've actually seen a couple of his videos before, but I'm not too...
Yeah, so every now and again I just dib and dab into various different mangas. Like I started Chainsaw Man, the anime, and that's been quite a ride. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not started watching Chainsaw Man.
It's
one of my friends last year was just hyping me up. He's like, "Yo, man, this is gonna be big." I was like, "Yeah, we'll see." I mean, from my Twitter timeline, all the fan art is just seems to be popping off. Yeah.
I saw the fan art. I was like, is it really going to be that good? There's only like 10 episodes out now, but it's different. I'll give it that. What it is the pacing goes from casual daily to absolutely berserk, unlimited budget works, bang, bang, bang. And I'll just say this, like, unlike most anime's plot armor, main characters can be topped just like that. So that's why I think people really enjoy it. That kind of slice of life mixed with the brutal berserk realism. So definitely an interesting one to look at. Back to kind of Hunter x Hunter. Do you think, like, if they were to release scale figures, so I don't know how they do the licensing on that, but obviously the Freeing Gon is 60,000 yen. That's out of the price range of most collectors, to be honest. If they started releasing like updated scale figures, let's say 1/7 scale figures, Good Smile, anyone like that, 20,000 yen, how popular would that be? Because I'm aware that Hunter x Hunter's popularity right now seems to be on a massive upward trend.
Yeah. It's kind of hard, because I mean, Hunter x Hunter is like a series that always goes on hiatus. So I mean, while it is really popular, I don't know how many people would actually still like actively buy figures of it. I think they're gonna sell this one just because when it comes to shonen figures, you don't really get a whole lot like there. I mean, you got your Dragon Balls, your One Piece, but usually those figures, unless they're like resin statues, they don't look that great, and they're usually just all prize figures, right? The scale figures that actually have quality put into them are usually just the Bishoujo ones, because they know the females are gonna sell well. Take a look at JoJo, very popular male series, but like most of the figures are either like really bad or just non-existent. I remember one of my friends is a huge JoJo fan, but whenever he goes to look for figures, like even the prize figures, because not many manufacturers are making JoJo figures, the prize figures are way up in price and no one's going to buy those, and whenever they make other figures of them, they kind of look really bad, so no one wants to buy those, and then it kind of entices the other manufacturers to say, maybe we don't make scale figures of like these guys, because who's going to buy them?
True. Yeah, I hear you. It's all kind of commercial aspect, isn't it? Which ones will sell, which ones we know will do well in the market, and yeah, that's a shame, really. That's kind of dictating a lot of the same characters coming out again and again. So you got Asuna, you've got like Rem and Ram and all the ones that just appear often. I guess then when you're making a YouTube video, right, and when you're making purchasing like choices, does it influence you in regards to the popularity of the figure and therefore how popular potentially the video will do in terms of which ones you prioritize in opening, unboxing, or putting more effort into the editing? Or
sometimes. There's like obviously for me as a collector, when I pick a figure to buy, it's usually just for me collecting first, and then the video stuff's a bonus, right?
Sure.
But let's say like the Genshin Impact one from Ningguang, right?
Yes.
Video popped off. I knew it was kind of do well compared to all of my other ones because it's Genshin and that's a pretty popular thing.
Of course.
So when I started making that, I was like, all right, this video, I know a lot of more people are going to click on this because it's Genshin related. So I got to make this video a little bit more, better than the previous ones I've made. And then, it kind of just paid off like that. There's a couple of figures that I have order just for the sake I'm gonna do a video on this one. Like Marion from Hololive. I pre-ordered that one from Max Factory. She got delayed till next month, I think.
Okay.
But I pre-ordered her because I was like, all right, Hololive fans are gonna kill for this figure. I'm gonna pre-order and do a video on that. I mean, I like Marion too, but I definitely probably wouldn't like collect a crap ton of Hololive figures because there's so many VTubers. I mean, I have my favorites too that I would definitely buy figures for.
Sure.
But I definitely want to keep that minimum under like 10 figures or less. And then there's Freeing, the New Jersey from Azur Lane. That was like 66,000 yen. I did not want to buy that figure, but I was like, all right, that'd be such a good video. I could somehow justify that. Hopefully the video can make like just the amount of shipping cost, maybe. Who knows? And then I ended up pre-ordering it. We'll see if I actually end up going through with it or not. But yeah.
I think you will though. Like for me, that was a no-brainer because I'm a simp for like blue hair, green hair, this kind of
bunny figures, and especially when it has like the pole, I was like, all right, that's a little bit different compared to any other Freeing bunny figure. I can kind of justify this to myself. Yes.
Good taste, my man. Like, first of all, right, I feel that is a proper face. I think Freeing faces are atrocious a lot of the time.
Really? I don't think they're that bad, but
I don't know. Like, if I look at it that close up, right, I'm like, this is a whole lot of plastic for that cheek. It's just like,
I see what you're saying.
When you look at the distance, right, you're meant to look at it, right?
Yeah.
Really pretty, really defined, really nice character. But then, for example, that Iruru made. Like, I look at it, you just can't see it, it's at the top, out of distance.
Oh, yeah, it's at the top.
I look at it, and it's really pretty from a distance. But when you look at her up front, she's a lot of cheek. Really, really wide face.
It's kind of like a wide-angle lens that
landscape. Yeah, exactly. But for the Azur Lane New Jersey, her face is so pretty.
When I zoomed in on the pictures, I was like, okay, these details look sick. And I was like, her face looks absolutely perfect. The expression and the little smug smile that she's doing. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I was done. And then I looked at the hair. I was like, this seems too good. Yeah, I gotta
everywhere. And also, like, obviously, we're getting into a bit Edo territory here, but the figure, the kind of cut, is not over the top proportions. It's kind of balance compared to the character. You can kind of agree with it. It's not like massive mammaries just on a skinny body. So it's
C2 is the only bunny figure that I have. And then when I got it, I was like, all right, pretty cool, because I think I got it off Mandarake. It was a good price. That's why I bought it, because I never really thought I would be buying bunny figures. Then I bought that one and I got it in. I was like, I don't think C2's bosom is this big in the show. Maybe I mean I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think Freeing took some deliberations with that one. But I'm not complaining.
It's an alternate timeline. What happened, right? Because you see her eating pizza throughout the series. She's been eating a lot of pizza, and it's going straight to her head.
That's why she's one of my favorite characters, because I love pizza too.
Can't disagree. I love me some pizza. You'll be surprised. Like some of the finest pizza I've ever eaten was in Japan. Somehow they take a normal thing and make it better.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And back to kind of like the kind of manufacturer choices as well. Then, so let's say for example, you have a absolute grail coming out, the pose, the series, the character that you've been waiting for a long time, but the prices have reached an absolute extortionate amount. They're saying 80,000 yen for a 1/4 scale high quality figure. You've got to buy it, surely. Would you make like justifications? Would you cancel other pre-orders and just get that thing, or would you say no, I can't spend that much on one figure?
Depends on the character. If it's a character that's in like my top like 5, I might make an exception, and then I'll cancel. Because I've canceled figures before. Usually they're just the Miku ones, which I feel bad because Miku gets so much good figures, but then I end up canceling it because I'm like, how many Mikus do I really have? It's like 2. I have the 1/4, and then the I forget the name from it, but it's like a Greatest Idol, when she has like the guitar, which honestly I don't know why when I think back on it now, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have bought that figure. If that was one of the figures I had to sell, I'd probably sell that one. Yes. But yeah, when it comes to Miku figures, I end up canceling. So yeah, I can see myself canceling some figures to make an 80,000 yen figure, but it has to be a really good figure for me and a character I really like. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't go through with it.
I know what you mean. Speaking of which, I cancelled 2 Miku figures. 2 or 3? 2 Miku figures yesterday because I'm trying to save up for that HMO Mai. So I don't collect resin statues really, except from this Kaiser. And that's not really a resin, it's kind of by Volks, it's a garage kit. But there's this handmade objects, my Shiranui from the King of Fighters. And she's kind of flying in the air with sakura petals and fans. And I think this just looks so stunningly beautiful. So I said, can I justify it? It's going on Yahoo Auctions and also a private seller for nearly 200,000 yen. And I'm like, whoa, that is pricey even for a resin figure. So I thought, can I cancel enough pre-orders to justify this thing? Because then I save a lot of space and I don't know the shipping fees. I think there's one local as well. So I cancelled 2 Mikus. The one was the Freeing Miku with the yellow bunny ears as a re-release of the standing big
that
Miku.
That one nice, yeah.
Yeah, it does look nice, but...
I could see why you would probably cancel it. I'm surprised though. You have so many bunny figures. I figure you just whenever there's a bunny figure, you don't cancel it, and you probably cancel something else.
It's a really tough decision because I am going to make a video, right? And obviously, I think I'll probably release that one before this one, so I can reveal. I think I've got about 65 bunny figures. It's like crazy kind of collection. And then the other Miku figure I cancelled, and this one was a tough one, right? Because it's quite unique. You know that music box? It's Miku on like a...
she's standing on one leg. It's like a ballerina. Yeah, that one looked pretty crazy.
That looks awesome to me, and it looks really good. But the reason I cancelled it is because apparently it's not selling too well. You can still order free. Like it's been pre-ordered for a long time now, but you can still order quantities of free, which means that they must have loads and loads of stock. So if I wanted it again, I could probably find it in the aftermarket for quite cheap. So...
That's pretty crazy. That figure looks so good. Well, I guess we'll see.
It does look like a pretty one, but the one Miku I have kept was the anniversary one. You know, with the fork in the cake in that kind of strawberry shortcake.
Oh yeah. That one was really cute. I don't really collect too many Miku figures, so I kind of just stopped ordering them because I'm like, there's like an 80% chance I'll cancel.
80%. That is a high.
Because like I've pre-ordered so many Miku figures in like the past like 9 years of collecting, and I only have 2. So what is that? The statistics don't really speak for themselves, or they do speak.
Ouch! Apologies to Miku Vocaloid.
Yeah, which is so funny because like when I go on my Instagram, I'll have like in my feed for recommended posts, it'll just be like Miku filled rooms, and it's just all blue. And I'm like, damn, these guys are complete fanboys or fangirls. And I can't imagine just doing that because like I cancel almost every single one I order.
It's crazy. It's outrageous. And one of the ones I was really considering cancel because it's going to be a big expenditure in December. Do you know that is it Azure Lane, the one with the massive grey hair that's flowing everywhere on the floor? I can't remember her name. Really, really pretty. It's some kind of
Graph. There you go. Graph. Are you talking about Graph?
Is it Graph? It's
She has the swimsuit, right? And like the spiky long hair, or are you talking about something else?
it's grey hair and it's going all over the floor. It's massive, massive kind of.
1/7 scale? Is it a swimsuit figure?
I don't think it is a swimsuit figure. I think she's in some kind of maid outfit or something.
1/4? 1/4?
I think it's 1/7.
Okay.
Let me just have a quick look at my order history, and type it in there. And I ordered 3 of her, by the way, which is why I can't.
3.
3.
I haven't ordered 3 of one figure in Seoul. Actually, that's not
Formidable. This one.
Oh, Formidable. Yeah, she does come out this month.
Yeah.
Oh, she comes out on the 21st, I think.
I think so. So. And I thought, right, for better or for worse.
Wait, she's 33,000 yen. You ordered 3? Oh my god!
3.
I just remembered the price. I was like, when I looked back on my orders the other day, I was like, damn, I can't believe that figure cost. Because like out of my bulk orders, she's the most expensive figure this month.
Is it? Oh.
And I was like, oh, damn, I'm not looking forward to paying this one.
I know, but the quality control, like I did see her in Akihabara. I just uploaded a vlog tour for the birthday trip in Akihabara.
You've seen her in person already then.
Yeah, and that quality control there is absolutely outstanding. They've upped their game in terms of quality control, I think, because everything about the figure just looks like it's expensive. Like you see some parts of figures where they, took liberties on the back.
Liberties. Yeah. Sometimes like on the hair, it's probably not like the proper color. It's maybe a little bit more opaque, so they kind of cheat down on like the paint job or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. But for her, they've got it spot on, and I don't even play Azure Lane, but even I recognise like quality. And the reason I ordered 3 was because my 2 little brothers back in the UK, they don't really collect figures or anything really, but they do like anime a lot. And I thought, get them something that's not edo, not ecchi, not too big, and not too heavy. So I bought 2 of these for them, and then they kind of decided, oh, we really like Hajime no Ippo, the boxing anime. So I was like, okay, so what about this figure? I bought this for you for a surprise. He's like, yeah, that's great, but what about that 1/4 scale Takamura and 1/4 scale Ippo that's coming out? I don't think. I was like, right, okay, I've already ordered it, and can't cancel and then change quantity. Okay, so now what do I do with these 2? So I'm probably thinking one is going to be a giveaway on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to do a big giveaway.
That's always a solid choice. I'm sure a lot of people would turn on that because Azrael is, and especially when it's by Alter Formidable. It's gonna be.
And it's expensive, 33,000 yen, right?
It's expensive.
So I'm going to put that in a giveaway, and it's going to be a very, very easy giveaway. But hopefully it'll get a lot of interaction. It'll be, guess how many figures I got. And that's it. So if they get the amount of number, the figures, they can choose. I'll put like 10 prizes up, including that one. And I'll give maybe 3 prizes away, and they can choose the one they want. But I'm thinking like at the start of next year, really, I want to start doing competitions and giveaways and other things just because I really need to kind of scale down the collection.
Scale down, yeah. You look like you have a lot of. I mean, when I look at my collection, I'm like, damn, I have a lot. But I look at yours. Yours is like in a contained apartment space. It's just it looks way more massive than mine, and I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Behind the scenes as well, you've seen my room, or should I say lack of room in my room?
Lack of room, yeah. Lack of room would be a better word, yeah.
So that's
by the way, is Shoko still on top of those boxes?
I have managed to move her to the floor.
Yeah. Okay, so, that's a much better position.
That was crazy, I know.
Especially of how expensive that one was too. I was like, nah, I don't think you're a braver man than anybody I know.
Surviving, just thinking, oh no, I hope there's no like major earthquake or major accident because it'll be caused kind of told havoc. And
how long have you lived in Japan?
So we're just coming on a year and a half now.
So has there been any like serious earthquakes since you've lived there?
There's been two earthquakes, but one was significantly big, but not like magnitude 9. It was about 7.2. And yeah, you really feel, obviously coming from the UK, you have no natural disasters there. You've got like earthquakes, volcanoes, typhoons, all that kind of stuff here. And apparently one of the big Japanese YouTubers, he said he's actually planning to move away from Japan because this like once in a lifetime super earthquake is due in Japan. And that one like, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's future-proofing. He's like, all right, I got to get out of here, maybe come back after that.
That's it, yeah. But who knows when it hits, man. I'm enjoying life, so yeah.
So none you haven't had any figures fall off from.
I have one.
You have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had one.
That's like my biggest nightmare. I was like, would you ever? Someone asked me, would you ever want to move to Japan? I'm like, no. I'd feel. I wouldn't feel for my life. I'd feel for my figures.
It's true. It's true. Like, and it's not just figurines. Like, I would be holding the shelves trying to keep these things on. I've seen in the konbini stores, right? They're trying to keep bread, like 10
falling over. Yeah.
Exactly. Loads of bread and chips and all that kind of stuff, cheap as things. And they're like, oh, we're used to earthquakes. Rather than protect ourselves, let's keep the stock on there. We don't have to tidy up later. Okay, you do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's like probably one of the biggest reasons why I probably want to move there, because like I couldn't deal with natural disasters that way.
But if you do what you do there, like have a lot of space, a lot of room, you won't be in danger. And as long as you secure the figures properly, or put them in the middle of the shelf, or have some fasteners.
Yeah, I guess it depends how much precautions you can take, right?
True that. But the figure that fell down, which is unfortunate because she's in my top 5 figures. Oh, that Yui Takamura right there, the yellow bunny.
Oh, she fell down from there.
She fell down. She was on just a clothes drawer, and she fell down head first. And I was like, oh no. And then I looked at the damage. I was like, the ears are still okay. Everything's okay. She's just got a slit on the top of her hair where the paint's kind of.
Oh yeah, off. I've had a couple of that on like my Nendroids, because sometimes when I'm like dusting or whatever, they'll fall down and then they'll get a scuff. I'm like, oh, okay, when it's an Nendroid, I can deal with that. But if it was a scale, I mean, I've dropped one of my scales before when I was playing a rhythm game, and my desk was shaking because I have a couple of figures on my desk. Have no figures on my desk anymore except for like a couple of noodle stoppers and maybe one Shinobu. She's sitting down though, so she doesn't really have a good chance of falling off. And then it fell off, and she was one of the Kankale's Congo, because she has the little ahoge sticking up, right?
Yeah.
That broke off. So in my mind, I'm just like, that's the brushed haired version I have now. Yeah, that's the only figure damage. Oh, actually, the second one was one of the figures I brought back from Japan, which is Mami from Madoka.
Okay.
One of her fingers broke off of her gun, but like you can't really see it unless you're like turned around. In the D-top, she's like this way, and you can't see the finger because the gun's there, so it's not too bad. I do have a spare handpiece for her, but that's like with the handpiece displaying her without the gun. I was like, well, I like the gun, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's just one finger. I don't know where I put it. I probably could have glued that back on, or maybe I didn't. I can't remember, but yeah, that's only 2 injuries I've had on my figures. I've broken a couple of swords here and there, but like some Gorilla Glue fixed that right up.
That's quite good actually, considering like the ratio of figures you have and amount of injuries and accidents you've had and broken pieces. You've done really well.
Thank God for that. And I haven't gotten any figures that have been like damaged in shipping either, which is great. Yeah, and I've had and no like defects or anything. Well, at least none that I deemed like too big of a deal for me to reach out to like companies or whatever. I did break one of the swords on one of my Saber Altars, and then I could have just glued it back, but then I contacted Good Smiles customer support on their website, and you have to take a picture of the box and the figure and look what broke. They ended up telling me they shipped one out, like a replacement sword for free, and then like 2 months, I forgot about it, and then 2 months later it randomly showed up in the mail, and I was like, okay, cool, I have 2 of these things now.
That's a win. That is a win for sure. No, I've probably scuffed or scratched or damaged more than I can think of, just because of the quantity. But to be honest, like a lot of these ones, I'm a little bit fortunate because I think the ones that are slightly scuffed probably came already a little bit scuffed because B ranked and broken and anything like that. And some of the characters that came damaged or B rank, the reason I bought them was because, like older scale figures, you're talking 10 years, 15 years ago, like the kind of rare and older series, kind of retro series.
Yeah, like
if you don't buy them,
stuff like that,
yeah, exactly. If you don't buy them when they appear and available, they're not going to show up for another 5 years or 10 years. So, whatever condition they show up in, if you want that figure, you probably have to pull the trigger and get it then and there.
Yeah,
so.
I have one of my friends, he's a big Sailor Moon fan, and he always asks me, he's like, hey, you know any places where I can get Sailor Moon figures? I'm like, dude, just try to, I don't know, Monterake if you're lucky, or stock Ami Ami pre-owned, and he can't find any. And any figures that he does find, they're usually like the really old like prize figures and things, but obviously, as you just said, you're not going to see them for a while if they ever pop up, and the prices are obviously that high because they're a lot more rare now. Even though they're older figures, it's just like the sentimental value and like how old the series is, right? Because they're not making a ton of that stuff anymore, so...
Exactly. It's like going back to the City Hunter stuff. For Mega House, there's two really nice City Hunter duos with Kaoru and Ryu Saiban, and I bought both of them because just I don't know. I really relate to that character. So he's like so pervy and so good looking and so cheesy, and but he's capable and he's a detective and he always comes through in the end. And but his mind is always set on the wrong thing, but ends up because of his skill and quality doing the right thing. And actually, that's my favorite movie of all time. Have you ever seen the Jackie Chan City Hunter live action?
Oh no, I haven't seen that one yet.
That was hilarious. That's my childhood back in the day. Obviously, growing up in a kind of Chinese Vietnamese household, seeing so many of these martial art movies and whatnot. But that was a welcome break comedy with martial arts. Yeah, Jackie Chan, right? So, yeah, no, I really kind of in terms of the kind of figure collection, I'm just thinking, would you give up a lot of the figures in terms of giveaways and actual promotions and competitions as opposed to selling them, mainly because there's a benefit for yourself, right? So you are kind of promoting the giveaway, the kind of having that interaction with the fan base. Like, what would you say is the best way that you prefer to interact with your fan base? Do you just talk to them through the comments war? Do you talk to a few patrons, for example, on the Discord? I know you've got your own Discord. Do you chat on the social medias like Instagram? What is your preferred way of interacting with your kind of fans, and what is the one that's most effective as well?
Probably just the comment section on my YouTube. I try to reply to a decent amount of comments on all my videos. I think the most interaction I do is probably the patrons, because they're there and they're supporting me, right? So we just talk about figures and the state of everything and how expensive shipping is and how much we don't like DHL.
Yeah, I hear you. And in terms of the kind of income that you get from the patron, what would you say in terms of kind of growth, it is the one that's rising quickest? Would it be from the income from ad revenue from YouTube? Would it be from the deals that you're getting from sponsorship? Or would you say it's from the growth of the kind of patron numbers?
At first, when I was a lot smaller, I'd probably say like under like 20K, let's say. I think Patreon was definitely my biggest source of income, just because a lot of people at the time were just like helping me out, and obviously the views weren't like super high or anything, and I wasn't making a lot from AdSense. So yeah, at first I guess the patrons were definitely the biggest contributor. And then obviously as you start to grow a little bit more, you get a little bit more views, a little bit more AdSense, and then obviously the sponsors flow in. So I think I probably make more on AdSense than I do with the patrons. Obviously the patrons help a lot, but no, I don't make a ton more on via AdSense. I think sponsorships are definitely the biggest source of like income, which is great. But I don't work with like a ton of sponsors. Like there's only a couple that I do work with a lot. Just because there's not so many brands, and usually you get like a lot of emails that are just like from off-brand people trying to sell like unlicensed merch. I'm like, well, thanks for the offer, but I don't really need that.
Yeah, selling your soul for a bit of cash.
I try not to stay. I think I said this in the previous one, but I try to stay away from sponsors that don't really have to do with anything that I'm into. So like, I did a sponsorship for a VPN because at the time I kind of needed the money for shipping, because like I don't want to pay the exorbitant amount of shipping for all the figures I had that month. So I took that. But yeah, I usually just try to stick to anime related stuff just because that's how it is. And I always enjoy like when companies reach out to me and they want to send figures over, even though if they're not paying me or anything, that's fine with me, as long as I can just have a figure that I didn't have to pay like $300 for just to do a video on, right?
Including shipping,
including shipping. Oh, yeah, thank God for that. Like was it I think Apex, which is the company that made Ningguang, they saw my video and they reached out to me on Twitter, which is I was like laying in bed there. It was like 3 a.m. I was just reading manga, and then I got a notification pops up, and it's from Apex. So I'm like, this can't be real. I click on it, and I'm following them. I'm like, oh shit, it's real. And they wanted to post the video up on their Weibo and Bilibili accounts. It's like, that's pretty cool. And he's like, yeah, if you ever want a product or something, let us know. We'll be happy to ship it out for you. Yeah, I was like, all right, sick. So and they're one of my favorite manufacturers right now from China. So
that is ideal.
Yeah.
Free promotion for you, free promotion for them, and a product.
So they just I was like I messaged them again. I was like, all right, so when's like a good time to like request a figure? Because like a lot of the ones that I do want aren't out yet. He's like, oh, just let us know anytime. I was like, okay, which is funny because like right when they messaged me, their kaching, their figure, I had to pay for that because it was in my Ami order. I was like, do I cancel this?
Because you
Ask
can,
them but then I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll just pay for it. I'll
Yeah.
ask them for Ganyu that comes out in like February. So that's fine. Whatever.
yeah. Push it forward. So you know, they've given you an amazing offer. Obviously, it works out for everyone. But you know, do them a little back scrub there. You know, you've got that order on place already. So you know, just pay for that one and then enjoy the relationship
Oh yeah.
from there.
I don't know. You probably can't see it, but there's like a huge the box. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter because I posted the picture of it, but I have a huge Ami box here. It's like almost it's bigger than my body. Here, I want to grab it.
Love it. Yes.
Yeah, the shipping cost for that was actually not as bad as I was expecting. I think it was about like 14K or 15K yen, and I had about 4 scale figures in there and 2 Fumos.
Okay.
So, it was not too bad. I was like, okay, thank God, because if I had to ship those out individually, let's say DHL shipping for like a single figure, probably like 1/7 scale size, is around like 10K. So if I calculate in 4K, so I factor in 4 scales, that'd be 40K yen plus
That's incredible.
plus the 40 or $30 depending on what it is. When it gets to my door, they'll ask for extra money, so I have to give them the money, and then that's like 4 extra separate charges. So I was like, paying $150 just once, or paying $600 potentially. Yeah, it's
No brainer. No brainer. At all.
Thank God I have EMS now. Oh my God.
I know. That's back. I heard about that. Good news for Canadians.
Thank God. I can, because before COVID happened, I used to ship everything in bulk, and people always complain about shipping, but for me as a collector, when I buy so much stuff and then you ship it out in bulk, it's so much cheaper that way.
It's true.
So yeah, I'm glad I can start shipping things in bulk again.
Exactly, and I guess that's one of the advantages I've got as well. So I could probably do a pseudo proxy service if I really wanted to, right? I could just start to collect things and send things away. But I'm just imagining like the amount of stuff that I ordered this year. I hopefully the wife isn't watching. I must have ordered maybe about 2,000, 3,000 goodies in the last year. And imagine the shipping cost if I had to pay shipping.
Oh yeah, if you had to pay shipping, yeah. A lot of when people ask me how much my collection is, I'll tell them it's probably like 15K at least. It's like, is that with or without shipping? I'm like, let's not talk about that.
I know. Like I'm meant to be saving for a deposit for a house, right? And if the amount that I've spent in the last things is ludicrous. But that's actually a really good point, and I think you can give a lot of insight to the fans and the creators because of you've experienced this thing in the same kind of niche. Let's say, for example, I'm going to categorize a few people. There's brand new starters, and there's a lot of things they need to do, but there's got a lot of anime unboxing, reviewing people who are in and around the 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. They may be getting 1,000 views per video. What would you say they need to focus on, right? Because obviously it's not revenue, it's not money at that point. What would they do to get to that next jump, that 5K, 10K subscriber mark?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, figure collecting is already a niche market. It depends on what kind of figures you're doing videos on, right? For me, it was kind of easy because I did figures on more popular stuff like Fate, for example.
Yeah,
it's a huge series, and I happen to like it about that. But if you're collecting figures, I don't know, let's say of a lot more niche stuff. What's a niche series? I don't know, like let's say Nichijou, for example. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know how many Nichijou figures are out there in the world.
Shout out to Nichijou.
But if you're collecting figures like that, I think just put your personality in it a little bit more, right? It's not all about the quality of your. I mean, obviously your video should have quality to it, but like not in terms of like resolution or like the camera equipment. Just put yourself on there as long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
You'll express that to the viewers, and they'll feel off your vibe like that. What else?
It resonates, yeah.
Yeah, it resonates with you. I would also recommend to pay very close attention to your titles and thumbnails, right? Because I'm sure we've all been there. You put a lot of effort into a video, but if your title and your thumbnail they're not clickable, let's say, then you're not really going to get those clicks, right? So I remember when I first started out, I started titling a lot of my figures very specifically. Like I'd put 1/7 scale figure in the title, and I would put the series and the character name. I slowly stopped doing that because I realized like in the search engine, people would probably find that video if they're specifically searching for that specific video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I tried to like, I don't know, not clickbait viewers or anything, but it's more of a general title, so where it shows up more on people's recommended, and they're more inclined to click on it because, you know, it's just like unboxing more anime figures, or these Azur Lane figures are sick or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just more clickable, and then yeah, I think the thumbnail is definitely one of the, I remember I spent so long on like trying to see, is this a clickable thumbnail? Like, will people click on this? Sometimes, because like sometimes I'll put a thumbnail in it, and then I'll think it's really clickable, but then, you know, you don't get a lot of traction on it.
Yeah,
and then and then some other times I'm like, okay, this is whatever. This video probably won't get a lot of views. This thumbnail's okay. And then bam, it just pops off. I don't know what happened. Like I posted a Twitter picture of the box. Usually when I pick pictures of like figures and stuff and I post it on social media, it'll get a decent amount of likes or anything. But then I took a picture of this, and I wanted to be a little bit funny since the box was so huge. I took a picture of me just lying flat on the ground with the box covering my entire body, and the post got like 500 likes. And I'm like, what? I put in so much effort for like my figure photos. They don't get anything.
A box on top of it.
I was like, okay, well, it is a little bit funny, and you wouldn't see that from me typically because like I'm pretty low level when it comes to social media. But yeah, you never know what's gonna pop off. But I would always probably recommend to pay attention closely to like your titles.
That's a good call, really, because like people never see the quality of the video if they don't even see the video at all. And in order to see the video, they have to click on it. In order to click on it, what are the main things? It's going to be the title and the thumbnail, right? So that's why it's all about.
Most two important things. I know a lot of YouTubers out there who probably, when they first do a video, they'll probably think of the title and thumbnail first before even the video itself. For me, even though I just said that, I usually come up with the title and video or thumbnail afterwards. But usually with the thumbnails, I'm already taking the video. So as I'm doing it, I'll probably just take a picture of the figure too, and then, I'll work on it in post and then whatever.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. And in terms of social media, as in, you know, people are trying to spread themselves too thin. They're trying to post all their videos on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, fan forums, all this kind of stuff. Where for you really should they be spending their attention? They've already done the thumbnail, they've done the title, the video is made. Where should they really focus on pushing their product out, making themselves, you know, raising the awareness of their existence and their video and this particular piece of content?
Well, when it comes to figures, I think the anime figure subreddit, I don't go on there too often. But that's probably definitely a place where people are a lot more welcoming. If you like, you know, you could post a picture of your figure that you just got, and people will 100% go in the comments and be like, nice, because they're just really, really nice people. Yeah, so I probably recommend sharing it on there. For social media, you know, I actually never really tweeted out any of my videos when I first started out for a long time, and like I had another one of my friends like, why do you never tweet out when you release a video? I'm like, I don't know, they're subscribed to me on YouTube, right? They'll just see it in their sub box. But yeah, when it comes to social media, I'm not really like too much of an expert at it. I mainly just use like Twitter just to follow artists, even though I probably should use Pixiv because that's probably a lot better for that. But you know, it's just Twitter was just a lot easier, and plus you can keep up to date with other creators. Yeah,
and it's a quick, cheap and easy Twitter. You know, you just see it on your feed. You can quickly tweet back. You can retweet, and you can get the likes and interaction there. So I think Twitter definitely is a good call, and I'm sure a lot of people will be desperately going for their paid blue tick to get them a bit of authenticity.
Oh yeah, there's that too. You know, in the back of my mind, I was like, would I pay $8 or whatever for the blue tick mark? I'm like, that's okay, whatever. I use this app just for following artists. I don't care if I'm like I have a check mark or whatever. It's
exactly.
it's not a big deal for me.
It's quite funny, to be honest. Like, it even gives you a differentiator in there. It says that you've paid for it or somewhere if you look deeply in there. So
yeah, you can tell because like when you go to specific people, you'll click on the check mark on their profile and it'll tell them this person subscribed to Twitter Blue, or it's like this person's an authentic member of their community or whatever. Yeah.
It is quite funny, to be honest. But I think one of the perks, I think Elon Musk said something around he's actually going to push people who buy Twitter Blue higher on
their posts, and I'm just like, well, it's okay. My posts are whatever. Anyways, I'm just posting pictures and stuff. It's okay. I post the same stuff on Twitter than I do on Instagram. And honestly, I would recommend people to follow me on Instagram because you're probably not going to see any of the not safe for work stuff I like on Twitter. Yeah, but it's just another thing I have with Twitter. I'm like, why would I like people following me, but like when they follow me, they're just going to see everything. Because Twitter will be like, yo, Ken like this. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like it too. I'm like, I don't know. Some people like to use this app out in public, and you know, they probably don't want me to follow me. Which is why, like in my Twitter bio, I have like, don't follow me.
Yeah, I saw.
Like, yeah, and then people will follow me, and then I realize, I'll just realize after they follow me, I'll like lose a follower. I'm like, well, you know, it's to be expected. I already warned you before.
Easy come, easy go. Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's fine.
And again, in like terms of something that you have, right, that you could give insight into to I would say every figure creator, even YouTube creators. Okay, so you've got the click-through rate, you've got the thumbnail, you've got the title, all of it has converted through to someone opening your video. Your audience retention must be pretty high. Obviously, the production value is very high, right? You've mastered the craft over time. You've got the equipment. You've got this kind of storytelling. You've got a cool vibe. You know, you've brought your character through as well. But what can people do to change like an average audience retention, let's say of 1 minute, all the way through to a 10-minute, 15-minute video? How did you manage to raise that audience retention level high? What did you have to focus on?
That's funny because the audience retention is the one analytic in my YouTube settings that I never check because I'm too scared to look at it. Because like, let's give a big example, like Mr. Beast, for example, right?
Yes.
Biggest YouTuber on the planet. But I can see why his videos are super important because like when I watch them, I never click off during the video. Because I want to find out what's the resolution at the end. He paces his videos so well, and they're edited in such a way where there's not like a still frame of anything. So I try to take a little bit of tips from him. So when I'm editing like an unboxing, I try not to stay in one frame for too long because then the viewer starts to get like a little bit bored. That's why I have multiple camera angles in my videos, even though it's like a pain in the butt when you don't have multiple cameras because I only have one. So whenever I take like, let's say a top-down shot of me cutting the box and then opening it, and then it changes angles from me cutting it from the top, and then when I open it, it switches to it. Yeah, I literally move it from the top to the other side, and then I film that. Yeah, it takes so long, but like I love doing it anyways. But yeah, that's one tip I would probably give you is try not to. I always like having a chill vibe in my videos because you know
you do.
I
have very chill vibe.
I don't like being like, you know, as cool as Mr. Beast is. That's why he's so popular, because he's so energetic. But like I don't have that like flow, a massive flow of energy to display on camera or anything like that. So for me, I just try to put everything into like my presentation rather than me just exploding out on camera. So yeah, I think pacing, cutting up your shots, making sure not everything's like too static in one frame. Like you're gonna have something interesting, maybe like I don't know, some interesting props that they can kind of check out in the background or anything like that. Music helps too. I try not to do too fast cuts because sometimes like I got a comment in my previous Ningguang video where it's like the camera changes were jarring, and I kind of agree with them because like I did so many in that one take because I was trying to match the editing with the music, and it was it was just too much of a drastic change in camera flow. So I still need to work on some stuff, but yeah, I'd probably recommend trying to not keep your video too boring and just change it up a little bit.
So always have something going on to attract their attention and nothing.
Whether it be you speaking or like a change of camera angle or like even a simple zoom in. Like, because sometimes when you're like talking and you want to emphasize a point, you'll pinch in the camera. You'll virtually pinch it. You don't even have to do this with like a lens or something. You can just pinch it in editing and just maybe add some text or something. Yeah, text and like simple effects and sound effects too. Something that I definitely need to work on more. I feel like sound design is definitely one thing in videos that you definitely need to add because it just adds so much more to your video.
It's true. Sound is very important. That is very true. What about like you mentioned the different angles of the taking the same shot for an unboxing, for example, but you move the actual camera itself so the quality stays the same. But what if, for example, somebody set up their phone, high definition phone, at a different angle and just simultaneously recorded the camera and the phone, which means that they could quickly jump to that phone clip, but that would just be kind of like not B-roll per se, but dominant B-roll just for like a few seconds before shifting back to the main one. Shifting the camera.
I've done that with my older camera, which is I try not to do it too often because like I can't the colors in the videos don't match up because they're two
true.
different cameras. But yeah, obviously when you try to do, like in my big haul videos, I'll have like the main camera filming me, and then the top down will be my old one. And that's fine because like I'll be talking and then I'll also cut to there. It also helps out too because like sometimes you don't know what you're doing on camera and you're just cutting the box. So obviously you just cut to this way the viewers don't see me just looking at the box and cutting.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. For example, like when you do a lot of the unboxings. So this is actually a comment. You'll be interested to know this as well because other people, when they've compared to other YouTubers, and your name pops up quite often in regards to your video production, your video quality.
Oh, really?
And people think, and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, you can judge, that because of your popularity and people already are expecting a certain production value, would you say that you can get away with more kind of, not boring segments, but more kind of wordy and speaking descriptions and long things because people are already interested and invested in your content and your delivery, that other people, if they were to be wordy and talk a lot of descriptions as they're unboxing, that kind of thing, people would click off, whereas more popular people and people, you know, that are already a fan of you will just listen through the whole duration already. Have you already built that trust?
I definitely think I have a little bit more advantage in that category just because, like, you know, I always say video, or not video, sound is the most important thing when it comes to video. Because, like, you can watch a really crispy 4K video, but if the sound quality is terrible, you'll click off of it, right?
Exactly.
Whereas you can watch a really bad quality video, but if the sound is good, you'll stay on because, you know, it's not ear grating to your ears. Yeah, so when it comes to like me, if I'm like explaining details or something and it's just me talking, I can definitely see how more people would be more inclined to stay on because I mean they already know my production value and everything, rather than like a new person that they just randomly stumbled upon and they're filming with their phone and they're just sitting at a table and they're talking. Yeah, I can see how some people would make that judgment, and I don't disagree.
No, that's very honest. I appreciate that, and actually that leads on to the kind of point again. So people have noticed, and a lot of these kind of YouTube gurus who, you know, the new YouTubers look at as well, you know, for YouTube advice, they think the playing field is slightly different. So from when a lot of established people, let's talk about Trash Taste, let's talk about Gant, Gig UK, and that kind of thing, the way, let's talk about algorithm and impressions and all that kind of thing, to establish yourself nowadays, they think you have to do it differently just because the way to reach people and the existence of more competition and kind of saturation, even in anime figures, right? You got a lot of people doing unboxing and whatnot. So how would they stand out as opposed to, you know, the kind of generic advice? Should they create a persona, a larger than life persona? Should they really be in your face and brash and loud? Do they do really over the top cuts? Like, how would they stand out apart from the kind of generic advice? And would you think that's a good long-term thing? Because people will not stigmatize but associate you with, you know, this over the top larger than life thing.
Yeah.
So
that's why I try not to do anything that's like out of character for my own personality, because like, you know,
tiring, isn't it?
That just
really
doesn't
tiring
fit me. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, trying out different things to make you stand out is definitely not a bad idea. Obviously, you want to stand out so more people can associate you with your own unique atmosphere. I think that's definitely try to do different things, but I wouldn't really say create a character, but like something that's not like too taxing on you and that you can definitely separate yourself from. And it's not like too big of a difference, you know, because like some people, like when they're on camera, they might be significantly different than what they are in like real life, right? Yeah,
that's really true, because it was similar advice to what I kind of gave them, but rather than from the experience of YouTube, more from a life coaching perspective. It's, even if you want to portray something on video and you're in control of your own camera and you're in control of your editing and how you present yourself, right? You don't want to completely make something up that you're not.
That you're not. Yeah.
But you could portray
you could do
the
that,
best parts of yourself, right? The most interesting parts of yourself.
Always put down the most interesting parts of yourself. No one wants to see something boring. I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit boring, but you know how many comments I get. There's like, yo, your videos really helped me out, man. I really like your chill vibes. I'm like, oh, that's just how it is. I try to like film my videos as like I think I mentioned this previously. My slice of life is my favorite genre, so I try to like build that slice of life atmosphere in my videos, so to speak.
And how does that make you feel? Like your ability to influence people, you're actually influencing people's buying decisions, their purchasing habits.
That's terrible, man. I always feel sad when someone in the comment sections be like, "Hey, man, I got into figure collecting because of you. Thanks." And I'm like, "Oh, I feel so bad for your financial
In the money pit.
decisions." Yeah. Oh my god, I can't imagine how many people I've like turned to figure. Obviously, I'm like, oh, I'm happy that more people
Yes.
are enjoying the hobby with me because I'm not alone. But at the same time, you definitely could have had a lot more money than
Yeah,
you
a lot more
would have.
money, a lot more time. You could have done something more productive because you're completely right, man. Once they get into the habit, like the worst thing that I felt, and it's kind of subconscious at the same time because you're happy for them getting into the hobby. It's a really fun hobby, interesting people. Is that when they try to keep up with the modern trends for Series Day, like even if it's beyond their means, for example, they're like, oh, I have to get that Ganyu figure or Genshin Impact or that kind of stuff.
It's tough. I definitely, you got to be more selective with your choices, especially if you're in a position where you can't buy a lot. Like when I first started out my channel, I didn't have a part-time job or anything like that, so I kind of just saved up and kind of buy figures. I actually started off with my merch channel just a little bit, just buying like scrolls in here and manga books and DVDs because those were a lot cheaper, right? Rather than just buying a crap ton of figures. And then once you start getting up there, then you can start, being a little bit more choosy, or not choosy, but open and buying more products. So you can do videos on. I remember the first figure I bought with like my first paycheck from YouTube. I felt so good. I was like, I can't believe I turned this video hobby into something where I can actually just buy a figure with it, and then
Amazing
I can do a video on that figure too. And I was just like,
it's the perfect circle. It's absolutely the perfect circle. And I was like, in a funny way, I had that game show that I was talking to you about, figuring it out, right? Obviously, you're going to be a contender one day on one of the episodes. We'll probably do like Fate Lore. How is your Fate Lore, by the way? Do you know a lot about the background and the characters?
Of like the main story, there's like in FGO. There's so much characters now. I don't. They're all based off of like historical figures and everything, and I'm just like, well, I don't know jack crap about their actual like historical background. Let's say Miyamoto Musashi. I know that obviously originally a dude. And some samurai in old Japan, but I'm like, aside from that, I don't know anything else about it.
Yeah, for the visuals and the characters. Yeah, like I was just for one of the forfeits on one of the shows where I lost one of the shows after we filmed it, I had to do like an original weeb song, and I was just thinking of lyrics. I can't sing at all, by the way. I love karaoke, but I can't sing at all.
Can't sing at all. Yeah.
One of the things that really resonates with me was like, I have almost every figure that I want, but I'm waiting for pre-orders next month. So it's kind of like it's a dangerous kind of spiral.
Yeah.
And then I thought, how do you satisfy yourself in between waiting for pre-orders and then getting an itch to go on hunting on sites and then spending something again? And that's how I stumbled upon. You remember those ACG cards? So like Merlin. Merlin and all the shiny cards, B2, and I'm going to unpack so many of these things. Compared to like figurines, you're talking about 200 yen, 700 yen, maybe 2,000 yen for a great card. These really scratch the itch because you can just look at these things and I'm like, hell yeah, it's Merlin, baby. So all these kind of little weave things really, really kind of keep me entertained. And also these kind of conversations as well, like, obviously, you've got the cool vibe and really kind of chill, but don't you find on these podcasts with kind of similar, like-minded people, you can just chat and chat and chat, and you don't need to care about persona or presentation or planning things. You just talk on topic and say what you want to say, really. Then they're kind of posts that you read.
Yeah, because you could be whatever on a keyboard, because there's no one there, and then when you're in person and you're talking, I don't know. At conventions, there's probably people out there who've gotten into heated arguments about certain characters.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I seem to remember now. Like I think last time we recorded the best. Your favorite anime figure and your favorite series and your one piece of advice for Tiny Shell. But I think that one got distorted as well, so we might as well chuck that one in here, and I can throw it in. So let's go again. Round 2. If you could keep one anime figure, the rest of disintegrate to dust, and you can't purchase any other figure ever again, which is that one figure that you'd keep? Actually, is it available? Do you have it in your room?
Yeah. It's like on the other side of my room behind the wall over there. But yeah, it's Ultimate Madoka from Good Smile Company.
Yeah. And what's the reasoning behind that? Is it sentimental? Is it
sentimental value? It was a gift. It was a gift from my sister. which is the craziest gift I've ever received from her. And yeah, it was the figure that got me into figure collecting. So I was like, yeah, a lot of people who are like viewers of mine would probably be like, it's not a Fate figure. I'm like, yeah, sorry. It's just, that figure just means a lot to me. So yeah, I ended up just choosing that one.
Sure, no, makes sense to me. And how's her condition at the moment? I heard like over time she might lean because of the weight.
Yeah. I haven't noticed anything on mine. She looks pretty much still looks the same as when I first got her. So
cool. That meets expectations. I know you take good care of your collection, so I'm very, very glad to hear that. And in terms of the kind of aesthetic and feel, like when you look at her now, does it give you different kind of feelings, different kind of vibes? Do you just appreciate the aesthetic, or all of those sentimental values are always there when you look at her?
It's always there. When I look at it, I'm just like, yeah, that's the figure. That's what got me into this whole hobby.
Indeed. For better or for worse, she's the one that started it all.
She's the one that started it all. Do I ever regret watching that video that made me like, oh shit, figures are actually so cool? Nah. my parents might like I know my dad. He supports what I do, but like sometimes he's like he always sends me videos about like some random old people talking about saving money and things like that. and then my mom will be down here and she'll be like, is that a new one? Because she likes all these. Yeah. She likes all the figures and stuff, and she'll always like take a pictures and like send it to her friends. Yeah.
Excellent. Send it to her friends. Wow, that's what
she'll tell her friends too. I'm like, you don't gotta do that, mom. But it is what
incredible. I'm getting so much Vietnamese vibes here. My parents are, or my dad especially on that side of things. He's a joker, man. He loves.
Oh yeah, when I got this package, like literally just a few days ago, I was still down here sleeping, and then my sister was the one who grabbed it. And I can hear her screaming, and then I go up, I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, grab your package. And she's just like in the stairs holding it. And then she gives it to me, and my mom's like on top of the stairs too looking. She's like, and then they both ask me, how much was that? I was like, it's like $800, and their mouths just dropped. I'm like, but don't worry, there's like 5 figures in here, it's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry. I was very thoughtful in putting them together. Reduce the shipping cost.
Yeah. It's like 5. It's not just one thing because they thought it was one item, but no, it's 5. Yeah.
Okay. Here. Cool. And who goes well with that Madoka figure? Who would you display her with? Who makes a good companion?
Oh, Homura from Aniplex.
Homura, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely the 2 pair. Yeah, you have to get. Homura was the last Madoka figure I got, I think.
Okay.
I haven't got one in like so long. I wanted to get the 2 from Aniplex. They do show up on Amyami Pre-owned a lot, but they're like, I can't remember, 50,000 yen now they go up for there. Yeah, it's kind of expensive. I was like, yeah,
crazy.
I regret sort of not buying them. At the same time, like, nah, I'm good with these 2. It's okay.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Cool, I would want to put them in a detail when I got them. I have no space for another detail, maybe like one extra one, but like, yeah I don't have any more space. So.
Yeah, exactly. And they're still good condition, so one day they'll be displayed. So, on to the anime series then. One anime series that you could watch. You're stuck on a desert island, you have one tape recorder, it's on there, you put it in the VCR again and again, the whole series, all the characters and music. What would you watch?
Yeah, I would, as much as I would like to put Yudu Camp, because it's like my favorite show, I'd probably put Detective Conan, because it's a long series and there's a lot of mystery in there. Yeah, you can just binge through that. It's great.
True. It's very true. They're standalone as well. You don't have to watch them in order. All of them are enjoyable as well. I mean, there is some kind of overarching story, obviously.
Yeah, there is an arc. Yeah, I like the overarching story, but it's so long because like the overarching story, it's still going on to this day right now. But yeah, because like a lot of the little mysteries in each episodes, they're always really good too. Yeah,
it's true. It's very true. The creativity of the man is genius.
Yeah. I mean, when you kind of, how many murder mysteries can you actually make, right? Some of them are a little bit similar, obviously, but yeah, they all definitely have a little bit of variety in them. So I think that's a very good show to pick if you had to watch one show, because there's just a lot of stuff there.
It is an amazing show, amazing choice as well. Like, I don't think many people would come up with the idea behind that, because not only is it long and there's a lot of variety, you can even re-watch the same episode. They're really, really enjoyable. Like, do you have any standout?
Really,
any standout episodes?
Probably this is a bit of a cliche answer, but the first episode. Because when I first watched that as a kid, because I watched it in English dub here first, because it aired on TV here, and then they gave him the pill when I was watching it, and then he shrunk down. I was like, wow, that's crazy. and then, I just kind of blew up from there. I remember when they stopped airing it here, and I was like, wow, I don't know what happens next. And the internet comes out, you just start Googling things, and you try to keep up with the series. And then now it's like has over like 1,000 episodes now. It's kind of crazy.
Do you think it'll ever end?
I think the author did mention he wants to end it soon, but I don't see it happening for it. It's gonna go on for like another 10 years probably. I don't see it ending. The ending it better be good though, because like this payoff has to be like
it has to be in so many more. Inspector Mori and Lan. How much of a waifu is Ran for you?
Oh, definitely up there. I don't talk about her a lot or anything like that, but I really wanted to. I was so sad when I canceled an Android because I wanted to pre-order them, but but Ran's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, I agree. I probably haven't seen as many Detective Conan episodes as you have, but actually, I almost like resin figures. I haven't got into. I just have no space, and they're expensive as well. But there is a Ran and Conan amazingly beautiful resin figure.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of the literally the Nendroids were like, and maybe a couple of prize figures that I've seen, but I haven't really seen a lot of figures for them or statues.
They captured Ran perfectly, but it's an expensive figure. It's like 160,000 yen or something.
Oh shit!
It's expensive.
Way out of the budget right there.
so yeah, for me, still a pipe dream. But I did buy something though. I don't think it's the Nendroid, but it's the Conan figure with the criminal X, the black. Yeah. Shaded guy in the back, because you can get up to some mysterious poses with that black guy.
Well, now that you told me, my friend sent me a picture because we both like Detective Conan, and we always make fun of of when one of us is like doing something suspicious. We'd send a picture of that on Discord of like the guy just like smiling. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's that guy. Like
I can't believe they actually made an Nendroid of him too. When they first announced, I was like, no way they did. That's so cool.
It's hilarious. They knew it'd sell. It's just so funny.
They knew it'd sell. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
Oh, perfect, man. That's what I was saying, man. Like you are literally like the younger brother I never had in terms of brother from another mother in another world. Would have been good. Yeah, would have been good to chill. I'm sure in the future one day. But so in terms of getting brotherly advice then, so tidying up my figure collection, right? This is literally, there's no thought behind any of this. Obviously, a few Arknight figures are together, but it's anywhere had space. I just threw figures on there so that I could actually walk and get rid of the boxes and have something to display. But if I could make this, fulfill its potential and really be a really interesting, cool backdrop, what would the Kenken masterpiece of advice be to make this absolutely stand out?
Definitely sort it by like the figures. So obviously you would have the bunny figures in like one row, ideally, or like one space of the wall. I would also just recommend getting some like longer or putting longer shelving units so you can space out your figures so they're not like all closed together.
Congested.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yes.
Probably my number one tip. Another tip, get a bigger house.
Yeah,
which
sure.
you're already in the works for doing that, so no worries there.
Absolutely in the plans at the moment, and no, much appreciated. Thank you so much for your time, Kenken. It's been absolutely amazing and fun and joke filled, and I think it's been really useful for people as well, obviously speaking from your experience, so hopefully you had a good time as well.
Yeah, I had a great time. Yeah,
great stuff. And everyone, I'm sure you are already, but make sure you subscribe and watch Ken's latest video as well. We're loving the Arknights, the Fate series, lots of figures coming up as well. That big box everyone is waiting to see. So
one of my favorite figures I ordered 2 years ago, and it was supposed to come out last year in December, but then they delayed it by like a whole year. It's finally in that box, and I cannot wait to take a look at it. So yeah, that'll be happening.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it as well. Absolutely, always enjoying the videos and your presence here. Absolutely appreciate it, and we'll speak very soon.
Yeah,
cool. Take care. See you soon. Cool. I just stopped the recording there for a second. Yeah. Actually, wait a minute. Did I forget something? I was going to show you something. Just before I stop the recording, bear me a second. Let's move these two over there. Yeah, so I went to book off the other day, and I bought a lot more kind of art books. So a lot of these kind of old school gacha games. This one is Grand Blue Fantasy. So this has a lot of really kind of cool character designs. It gives a kind of lot of interesting character classes, and I think the game's been going on for a long time. So we got that one, and we got a very old school game. Landgrisser. You ever?
Oh, Langrisser, yeah. I think I ended up buying the remakes on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't played through it completely yet, but yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a pretty good tactical RPG. Yeah.
So I'm gonna start that one probably next year because I do like his kind of unique art style. He's got a very kind of unique vibe in the way that he draws characters. So when I open that one, I'll give it a look-see. And then one other one was, I think they're coming up with a new gacha game for this one. Is it Girls or Dolls Frontline?
Oh yeah, Girls Frontline. I think it's the gacha game that's related to that. I think it's a Neural Cloud.
Yeah, there's a Neural Cloud. Apparently, they're making a new one as well. A new Dolls Frontline.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
An actual Dolls Frontline game, based on all the feedback. And I really like the artwork and the kind of cultural feel of a lot of the characters in this thing as well. So like Daka obviously has got some kind of Arknights feel as well. So
Star 15, yeah.
Yeah.
I have some Girls Frontline prints that are just in the other side of my room. The artwork is just phenomenal. Yeah.
And speaking of artwork as well, I picked this one up. I think you might like this one. So have you got any of these? Fate, Complete Material, Extra Material.
Yeah, I think I do have one laying around here somewhere.
So in this kind of bookmark, I've got a nice little Arknights, Chen and Amiya book. I don't even know if it's a proper bookmark, to be honest. It's just one random weeb accessory that I seem to pick up on my travels. The artwork in this thing is really nice. I'm really appreciating a lot of the kind of Fate, is it blue? Fate stylized designs. And they've made all the characters rather perky, which is definitely not a bad thing in my eyes. And I don't know, I just really like the kind of overall kind of theme. You got like naughty Sakura, dark Sakura in the corner, Fate Alter characters, Rin Tosaka, still a huge popular waifu. So I'm gonna include this one in your little goodies bag, Christmas goodies bag, and we'll see how much the box weighs and when I get to the post office.
Oh yeah. Feel free to tell me how much shipping was, but also if it's too much, you don't have to. Worry.
Don't worry about it, my man. It's my pleasure. Hopefully, it's a good start to next year, and then coming your way very shortly. So, before I forgot, that's one to add to your collection. And without further ado, I'll stop the recording now. It's always a real pleasure talking to my bro Kenken, catching up on Weeb Talk, anime, life, universe, and everything. He is a YouTuber that everyone looks up to. Content creation. He's absolutely nailed it, spot on quality. Watch videos from start till end. You know what I'm talking about, Kenken videos, hot stuff. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching this video. If you've made it this far, really appreciate you supporting the channel. Speaking of which, £1 a month goes a long way into giving the Miyazaki man the time and energy and the motivation to make these podcasts, to catch up with people, to make the content. I've actually started 2 additional channels as well. Suikoden 6, my favourite game ever, check it out. I'm going to be making lore, story, gameplay videos. HD remakes coming back this year, can't wait. Also, I've made the Miyazaki Man Eats. It's literally my adventures in Japan, stuffing my face every day and losing weight. Not losing weight, stuffing my face. But anyway, check it out. Once again, thank you to every patron who's supporting this channel. Special mentions to Ultimate Sakura, Zygo Gaming, The Gaming Shelf, Tendai, Captain Hazmaster Kalua, David Vince, Rondi, Chino Penguino, Sophia P, Insufficient Yogurt, Master Yao, James Y, Coben, Trey, Mark C, T, Dom P, Alex M, Ash W, Suntan Superman, and everyone else as well. Every single patron will get a prize from Japan, maybe exclusive spicy caramel. I'll try to get it all to you. Delicious. Umai.